in the Acolyte trailer, though, they had some, I guess some martial art combat, but it didn't look like there was a lot of cuts. So hopefully that's a good sign for the choreography in there. But who knows? Hopefully they would carry that over to Ahsoka. I think it's going to be a little hard. Well, I shouldn't say hard because they've done it before, but harder to do a lightsaber fight with Ahsoka because she's supposed to be bouncing around and doing all this stuff. So not just like the original trilogy where they're just standing there looking all boring when they swing a lightsaber. Great lightsaber fights for the meaning, but the fights themselves were actually pretty fucking boring to be honest. Even as a kid, I'm like, man, they're not even doing nothing. Then you see the prequels, you're like, what the hell happened? They just stand there. Hey, do something, jump, do something. Yeah, I don't know who the two orange lightsaber characters are. All I know is the main guy is Titus Polo from Rome. So I'm excited. We were literally talking about him and I forgot the other guy's name. The two main guys from Rome. The rumor is the other guy who plays the Mandalorian, or a Mandalorian's gonna be in it. Lucius Varinus, and now Titus Polo, his partner, is now one of the I guess, I'm just gonna call him like a Sith Acolyte. I don't fucking know. Man, I don't know. Sith wannabe. I don't know what they are. I'm sure there's some actual. What's the guy's name? I think Balin or something they said in the trailer. I think. I could be wrong. That kind of goes against one of my theories. I was going to say we wanted to, you know, if you're going to have Ahsoka in there, you wanted to have a lightsaber duel with someone. And I was like, oh, have Ezra turn to the dark side, at least for a little bit, and then he can turn back and they could do it. So it looks like they can go past that now because they got these two guys, which is cool. We'll see what happens to Ezra now, but... the Acolyte trailer was, it was a leak. You have to find the leak. But it wasn't even the full trailer from what I understand. It was just a brief little snippet, but in the trailer they already have a lot of it shot by the looks of it. They had like choreography, they had the sets, they had everything. Like it was an actual trailer, not like behind the scenes shit. So they've already shot quite a bit of that, which when it comes out next year, that to me that excites me a little bit because hopefully that means they'll, how do you want to explain it? Like take their time on it. It's not going to be something they rush in. They're going to, if they already have a lot of it shot, that would be nice. At least in theory, I don't know. One can only hope. But I'm so excited for Ahsoka. The trailer looked so good. Again, trailers always do. We always have to put that disclaimer there, though. It's kind of hard for a trailer to suck, but... And I have to repeat myself since the stream didn't work the first time, but it looks like Lars Mikkelsen is playing Thrawn. They only showed the back of him, but his ears are very distinct. Like you can tell, they stand out. If you look at a picture of Lars, the actor, his ears are very pointy, and Thrawn's ears he had his ears. So I'm still saying it's Lars, man. I don't give a fuck what the rumors are saying. I'm still going on record it's Lars, but could be wrong. And it could be wrong. I'll be so happy if it is. He has the voice in Rebels. He did it so good, and like let's keep it there. And Sabine, oh my goodness gracious me! I am glad she's in live action. Is all I can say. Close your legs, babe. Crazy. You trying to tempt me, you temptress? It's not really a leak. They showed the trailer at Star Wars Celebration, but some dude filmed it with his phone. Kind of like the Mandalorian Season 3 trailer leaks back in the day. Wow, weren't those trailers exciting now that compared to what we've seen in the show? Woo. Mainly because he was a kid character and he had a kid energy, which that's part of the reason I hate him, but admittedly, a lot of those characters... when they get older, they're better. Same thing happened with Ahsoka in the first few. In the very beginning, people didn't like her, but as she matured, it obviously, like, she's one of a lot of people's favorites, myself included. So, I didn't really like Ezra in the beginning of Rebels. He's still not one of my favorite characters, but he did mature a little bit towards the end of that. And now, hopefully, when he comes to live action, it will be pretty good. I hope, anyway. I fucking hope so. Cross your fingers. And it's kind of sad. I'm split because they showed Mon Mothma, and I love Mon Mothma, especially after seeing Andor. But then it's like, dang, she's so smart, but also at the same time so dumb. She's getting rid of all the military. Like, what is happening here? Like, that's gonna be a hard one to explain for me. Like, man, you literally helped bring down the Empire, and then immediately we're like, you know what? Let's just get rid of all of our military. That's gonna be an interesting plot line over the next few shows and movies here. Yeah, I'm gonna be a Sabine Sim. Jesus Christ! Oh my goodness. No doubt. Hope we get to see her in The Mandalorian. I haven't heard the spoilers. There's been a lot of like spoilers about The Mandalorian, the next 2 episodes. I think they showed the next episode there, and everyone was saying some stuff. So it looks like it will get good. Without going into spoilers, don't put the spoilers in chat, please. I know you probably will because you guys are probably cunts, but you know, it's just the way it is. It's understandable. But it sounds like the next 2 episodes will be good. But again, that doesn't... 2 episodes won't make a season good, but it will help it, I hope, anyway. Jesus Christ, man, this it hasn't been that good so far. It's been alright, but damn. Very big drop since the previous 2 Mandalorian seasons, and when it comes to this one, it's like... where, like, literally we're 2 episodes left and we don't even know what's gonna happen. Or have any idea what direction it is. I'm pretty sure Ezra's gonna have a lot of character development. I'm pretty sure, and especially since he's gonna be an adult and he just had that whole get lost in space with Thrawn thing. They're gonna have a lot of time elapsed where he'll mature, so that's good. For me, anyway, I think it's good. I still think I would like Ezra better if he was more dark-sidey, but I could be wrong either way. We'll see. At least I'm honest. I know why I don't like kid characters in it. Same thing with what's this girl in Bad Batch? Can't remember her name. Yeah, that one. I just hope they don't kill Titus Polo off too fast. I hope he gets to have a big role. I'm sure he will. He looks like the main leader of those lightsaber dudes. Or not the main leader. He's probably under Thrawn. But you know what I mean. Like, of the lightsaber people, he looks like the main one. The girl looks like she'd be the side bitch. But maybe I'm just sexist. I have no idea. He just looks so mean. I didn't even recognize him at first. It took me a second. I'm like, wait a minute. That's Titus motherfucking Polo right there. Let's go. Polo! Back in formation. If you know, you know. If I do a reaction, I'm gonna have to say that line at any point he starts fighting. The moment he starts walking down the hallway, pull up, back in formation. What are you doing here? Oh, we probably have enough time. Let's see. And we're already too late, and we don't have one. Who cares? We're gonna just be a Death Tripper. We're talking. You're liking Mando? I do not like this season so far. Glad you enjoy it. The episodes individually aren't bad, but in terms of putting them into a full season, there's not much going on. Like, very little is actually happening. You don't even know who the main bad guy is going to be. 2 episodes left. Some of the plot lines we thought would happen, which again, thoughts don't always mean shit, but turns out it's not. It's not even a civil war. They just kind of like, oh, okay, he's cool now because she's gonna be the leader, and we just beat up this she beat up this random wannabe Grievous on a planet that none of them saw, and they just take their word for it, which I think is the funniest part about the Mandalorians. They literally don't like her or each other, and then all of a sudden they tell a story, and they're like, oh, okay, you're the leader again. Like, and you didn't think of just lying in the first place if they're that believable? Like, if they're that easily, or if they'll that easily just follow what you say, why not just lie from the beginning, dude? What the fuck? They make the Mandalorians here look a little, I don't know, kind of dumb, to be honest, this season. Which it's kind of weird when you look at it. From the whole point of this Mandalorians, these badass warriors, and blah, 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 blah. Same thing with how the kids got kidnapped by that fucking flying creature in the other episode. And they're like, hey, always do this, and it always gets away. And I go, you badass warriors couldn't come up with a plan? Like, alright, let's set up some people on the outside as a scout. He can report back when the thing's coming? No. Don't make a weapon that could go after it? No. They're just like, oh, we ran out of fuel. Like, they had no plans. Like, and it's something that has happened multiple times. So it's like, how are you badass warriors, but you were like, didn't go on a hunting party to kill that thing or do something? They just kind of accepted it. Like, oh, he kidnaps our kids and we kill him. We'll chase him with our fuel. And then when we run out, we just go home and the kid's dead. Like, it's like, what? I thought these guys were supposed to be badass, and they just kind of like give up so easily when something fights them. Like, oh, what is that? Oh, look, BB-8 out front.
Capture team inside laser control.
Yeah, I think it's Valen or something like that. They showed Ezra in a hologram, but he's not going to be the lead of this show. He was the main dude of Rebels, but now he's going to kind of take a backseat. It's Ahsoka now. What we were talking about before the stream cut out, and we got to do it again, is there's people saying this is going to be the last Mando season. There's a lot of confusion around this. And then there's people saying this is the end of the Mandalorian. But you got to look at it from both perspectives. One, if this is the end of the Mandalorian seasons, like, we're done with Mando. The Mandalorian show is done. Damn, what a bad ending. It's not good so far. The ending will be really exciting, but it'll probably just be to set up Ahsoka. But it's kind of a lackluster final season. I don't think it's that, though. I think it's more, we might be done with Din Djarin's story, and he'll take more of a back role. Doesn't mean we won't see Din Djarin again, but he'll be more of a complementary piece to another person's story. Like how Boba was in Mandalorian Season 2. It wasn't the Boba show when he got there, but he was there, you know, stuff like that. Like, this season feels more like Bo-Katan's story, and Mando's more of a side character. But since Grogu does so well, they're like, no, we need to keep them in the forefront. So they're kind of conflicted. They don't really know what they want to do. Where if they had just, instead of titling the Mandalorian, or putting the focus of the Mandalorian on Din Djarin, and the Mandalorian show would be more about just Mandalorians in general. And yeah, we're following Din Djarin the first 2 seasons, but now we're moving on to the next Mandalorian. Would be Bo-Katan. I think if they had set that up better, whether in interviews or just when they explain the show, I think that would go over much better with people. But again, I think that's kind of hard when Grogu had such a big success with Mando. Now they're conflicted. They're like, damn, everybody loves him. We can't just get rid of him. So I feel like that's one of the main reasons this season's kind of just all over the place. It doesn't really feel too good. Like, it's a definite step back from the first 2 seasons. It's not even close for me, honestly. And again, the next 2 episodes sound like they're going to be huge. But, you know, I didn't like Game of Thrones because it had 1 good episode a season. It was, all the episodes were pretty good. You know, some better than others, obviously, but they were all pretty good. And then when you got a great episode, it was like, oh, like you're just coming all over the place. You know, where here I'm like, these episodes don't really excite me too much. They're not bad individually, though, but... No, EA's not coming back to this game. DICE is not coming back to this game. They are long gone. They're not coming back. Don't hold your breath. I saw somebody mention, like, oh, are they going to mention Battlefront 3 here? I'm like, bro, that's the sad thing. I'm a Battlefront YouTuber who literally my livelihood depends on it, and I did not even think of that one bit, and other people were, like, bringing it up. No, it's not. And, yeah. Unfortunate, I wish. Yeah, I'm not really excited about the Rey stuff. Especially if the stuff they said is she's going to be setting up a Jedi Order after Luke. I'm a little... Like, I don't hate Rey. I think the character could have been really good. I like Daisy Ridley as an actress. But it was just the writing of the sequels was so bad, that's what turned me off to her. And what's a little confusing is we're seeing Luke set up his Jedi Order right now. And then here in the next few seasons now, or shows, we're already going to be seeing Rey have to do that. If what they said is true, of course. Which I'm like, I don't know if I really like that. Like, but I'm not against her coming back, but I'm not that excited for it. They're gonna have to
I got point. Go in.
do some crazy shit to make me be excited to see her again. Other than the horniness side of things, of course.
Han Solo
Of
has
course,
been
of course.
spotted.
Inside the camp, taking control.
But to me, it's pretty obvious, like, my current vibe is this season from Mando is just there to set up Ahsoka. It's just kind of, it's more of a filler to just get to the next big show. And that saddens me, because I don't feel like they have to do that, man. I feel like this season could have been absolutely amazing, on par with the first two, and still set up Ahsoka. But to me, they didn't. It's so just... This season's just all over the place. I don't really like it. Unfortunately, I really wish I did. I don't like not liking Star Wars, of course. Yeah, when they say the end of the Mandalorian, I look at it. It's the end of Din Djarin being the focal point of the Mandalorian show. So like they could technically keep it going, whether that's with Book of Boba, that's still a Mandalorian type thing, or Bo-Katan and that type of stuff. Because I mean, technically they are gonna be finishing this arc of them reuniting Mandalore here under Bo-Katan, stuff along those lines. They could just be ending that there. Like maybe the Mandalorian story's done and they'll take a back roll now and they'll just be like characters you see once in a while in here. Which I wouldn't be against that. I really wouldn't be against them doing that if they had set it up a little better. Because, you know, characters gotta come and go at some point. And I wouldn't mind that. Like, you spend a couple seasons with Mando, you fall in love with his character, and then now he takes more of a back seat. You're still gonna see him around, but he's not gonna be the focal point. Like in Book of Boba, like, I need backup, and he calls Mando. It's like, hey, there's Mando again. Wonder what he's up to. But like you kind of go around the big galaxy following different people, where they don't have to make it just everything is main character Din, you know. But they didn't do a good job explaining that. I think that's where there's a lot of confusion. I think this season, it would still suck this season so far, at least for me. But it would be better, because one of the main things a lot of people are saying is, this is Bo-Katan's show. This is Bo-Katan's show. And it's like, if they had mentioned it and made it more like, we're just following Mandalorian story, not Din Djarin's story for this, it would be a little better. It wouldn't be taking Din Djarin, how do you put it? You wouldn't go into it thinking Din Djarin's the main character. It's like, he's there, he's cool, we love him, but we're focusing on this story right now. He's just an attachment on the gun, if you will. The gun's the main show, and he's just one of the attachments. He's the suppressor or something, you know? Like that, but... But again, like Roger said when we started the stream, they announced a lot of fucking shows here and movies. And they did that, what, last year and the year before? And how many of those shows have already got canceled? So just because they say it, don't think you're getting it is a fact. Like, they could get canceled, and some of them probably will. I really get the vibe though with this whole story is the plan wasn't for them to just follow the Mandalorians as a whole. Everything just feels kind of quickly put together with the way they're kind of shooting this season, and I'm like, I still think it all stems from the Grogu stuff and having them back. I think they had a plan written out what was going to happen, then they had to bring them back in, and now everything's just kind of up in the air, and it's just kind of leaving a bad taste in your mouth, unfortunately. It's like, come on, dude. There's a lot of leaks for Mando, but I'm not listening to them. So don't put them in the comments, and I know you guys like to.
Stormtroopers are coming. Our mission is to keep the rebellion's data out of enemy hands. All we need to do is buy time to wipe the base's databanks. The enemy will strip away our defenses point by point.
Crossover for Star Wars? Wait, what?
Stand guard there.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I hope you're fucking kidding, because I didn't hear that, but Jesus Christ, dude. If I see fucking Iron Man in Star Wars, then I'm fucking done. Fuck that shit. I have a feeling you're just trolling. That is such a stupid fucking idea, but you never know nowadays. They want money, they're like, you know what, dude, let's get fucking... Who's big over there? Let's get the Hulk in Star Wars, man. Please don't. Please don't fucking do that. Don't make that fucking weird Benedict Cumberbatch bitch guy fucking magically portal into this fucking world or something of the universe. Swear to God, dude, if I see something like that, I'm gonna be so fucking done with this shit. Like, alright, I'm out. Sadly, I'd still probably watch Star Wars. That's how they get us. We always complain about it, yet we always somehow come back. Oh, see, I didn't know that. That's a good point, Rogers. Yeah, I didn't know he was doing the Indiana Jones movie, which could fail, let's be honest. Yeah, I completely agree. If that movie fails, he's gone. Like, by Ray movie, they'll have to do something else or change directors, but I personally don't like them getting so ahead of themselves of announcing shit, honestly. Because they cancel so much. So much of it's canceled, and you get all excited for it. Same thing with that game everybody always asks me about that I always forget the name. Like, they were so ahead of themselves with that, and then it's gone. Like, that's just not even close to being coming out anytime fucking soon, and probably never will. Hopefully I'm wrong. Or, oh, we canceled it, but we took parts of it and moved it on to a different game. Yeah, basically a Mandalorian, but not the one you're expecting. It would go over so much better if they had started us off by saying that. Like, alright, we're going to follow the story of Mandalorians. Right now, the Mandalorian is Din Djarin. We're going to follow him, and he's going to be the focal point. But as time goes on, we'll move that to another character. If they had said that from the beginning, I think it would be a lot better. This season would be going over better. It's still a pretty lackluster season, to be honest. But you wouldn't. At least it would get rid of the argument of all the people saying, like, where's Mando? Why is he not doing anything? But they're really all over the place, though, man. Like, in Book of Boba, Mando took the spotlight, and it's just... Now in Mando, Bo-Katan's taking the spotlight. And I love Bo-Katan. I'm not hating on Bo-Katan at all, but it's just, it feels very sloppily put together here. Unfortunately.
If they push us back again, we'll have to fight for the base itself. Ready?
I don't want Indiana Jones to fail. I hope it's good, man. Don't ruin it, but... Again, out of all the shit they're announcing, Rey's the thing I'm the least excited for, but... And you know the thing is, Grogu will be there, people. Grogu's gonna be there if she's making a new Jedi Order. He's not gonna be old by then. He's gonna be there. And there's gonna be Rey and Grogu scenes, and all those little fucking Rey fanboys on Twitter like, oh, this is the moment that we all waited for. You know, they get so wet. You gotta be careful with Twitter, people, man. I don't even want to follow this shit, but it's always in my For You section, and they just are so wet anytime Rey's brought up, or anything sequels. They have their own group of supporters that I feel like they only support it because people didn't like it. Like, they just, like, there's nothing the sequels could do wrong, and it's like, those are the type of fans I can't stand. Where it's like, dude, you can enjoy it, I don't mind. You can like the sequels. But acting like they're just perfect and there was nothing wrong at any point when there's very obviously stuff wrong, that's a little much for me. Like, that's not even an opinion. There was clearly stuff wrong with the way that was shot. Like, that's not an opinion. You can still like it, though. I'm not saying you can't, but to act like it's just the best thing that's ever happened to Star Wars, that's far from it, actually.
If this goes on, we'll have to abandon.
Like, I personally hope they salvage Rey's character, but it's going to take a lot to do that. I'm not just some Rey hater and hate everything sequels. Like I said, I like Daisy Ridley. I think the character of Rey could be good, but the writing in the sequels was just so fucking bad. Any hope we had, they just kind of got turned off to that. So hopefully they try to save it, but... And again, that is a good point. I saw somebody bring this up on Twitter, speaking of that, was imagine all those people who just be listening to these Star Wars YouTubers where every day they're retconning the fucking sequels, they're getting rid of Rey, Kathleen Kennedy's fired. You keep listening to those guys fucking clickbaiting your dumbasses, getting views. It's like, very clearly they're not. They're clearly trying to show how they set up the First Order here. That's not retconning it. And now they're going to have Rey. Oh, she's back. What happened? I thought they were done with a sequel. That's why you don't listen to them, people. Jesus Christ. Every day Kathleen Kennedy's getting fired. And people listen to those guys. Why they're getting views is fucking beyond me. But, you know, hey, people like drama. Oh, there you go. We should do that. Oh, my God. Kathleen Kennedy playing Battlefront 2 with me. I killed her. She's going to get fired. It's just... See, that I agree, Darkest. Like, it kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier. I don't like that we're setting up 2 new Jedi Orders already. We have Luke in The Mandalorian, and in Ahsoka we're probably going to see him, and this current storyline, we're gonna see him set it up, and we know what ultimately fails, and we're already gonna be working on Rey's now. It's like you could see where the sloppy writing kinda.
But without the East Station,
They didn't have a clear plan going into this. Let's put it that way. They're just kind of winging it from here, and I can definitely feel it. And I hope they do a good job with it and try to, you know, clean up the story as much as they can. But it's not gonna be easy. But I don't like that we're like, oh, here's Luke's new Jedi Order, and we're already going to be showing Rey doing a new one at the same time, basically. Fuck, man. We literally just saw Luke do this shit. Like, where if they had went into this whole thing with a plan set out for how this is going to go down, it would be a lot smoother and easier to swallow. But it's gone now because they wanted to have it be gone, and now Rey's going to have to set it up. Even though now they're currently showing how it's set up in The Mandalorian, where if they had came into this with the plan on how they were going to shoot all the current Star Wars stuff from this, before the sequels, like starting now, starting fresh with new Star Wars, they could have set up a better story, but they didn't. They were all over the place. So now some of the stuff they did here is going to contradict this, and they got to try to clean up that part of the story to make it make sense. Where if they had came into this with the main storyline, I think it would have actually been Luke would have been the main Jedi, the new Jedi Order, and Rey probably would have been one of his underlings, and then something happens. But they could have developed that story much better than the way it's currently being done. Right now, they're just trying to clean it up, basically, which is unfortunate, but again, hopefully they do a good job, because I'm not here to just hate Star Wars. I fucking love Star Wars, and I want it to be good, but admittedly, it's not been too good here of late. Some things are good, some things not so much. I'm excited for Dave Filoni's, correct me if I'm wrong, he's going to direct a movie that finishes this storyline that we're kind of in right now. And I don't mean just the Mandalorian show, but just the main plot lines of, like, Thrawn. We're going to see Thrawn in probably the end of this next couple episodes here on Mando. They'll set him up for Ahsoka. We'll see him in Ahsoka, obviously. We'll probably see him in another show. And then it will culminate in a movie. That's where his story will end. It will be like the grand finale. Which I'm not against. That sounds good. But I could be wrong that that's what they said. But I'm excited for Filoni to have a movie. Especially if the higher-ups just back off and let him work. Again, I'm not saying he's perfect. But I'm willing to give him a chance. Definitely. Like, don't mess up. Especially if the higher-ups keep their fucking 2 cents out of there. And notice I'm not just saying Kathleen Kennedy. I'm the higher-ups of Disney as a whole. Not just her. Fucking turn her into the goddamn Antichrist. And I don't like her, by the way. I can't stand her, but fuck, man. Every goddamn video. She's fired! Civil War! There's a Civil War, you guys, bro. We've had 18 Civil Wars in the last year. What are you talking about? And she's still there getting promoted. What the fuck? She must be great at winning wars, because she is winning a bunch of wars according to YouTubers. It's like, oh, come on.